I see the show's getting better at combining A and B plots. Welcome to the review of the 7th episode of the first season of Witch. If this is the first of these videos you've seen, there's a link to the full playlist for this series in the card and the description. I really like episode 7 because it shows an advantage having Cedric in the human world gives the show. Cause and effect. In the last 3 episodes, the villains and heroes have kind of just stumbled into each other. But here, Cedric's villainous actions are in response to something the girls did, which in and of itself is a response to the introduction of outside stimuli. Aside from the need to get Blanc involved somehow, this is really tight writing that might even be better than episode 3. Also, this reminds me of a certain plotline in Miraculous Ladybug, but we'll get to that later. Let's actually get into the specifics of the episode, Divide and Conquer. As always, we begin with the bad guys discussing their problems. One is trying to get information on the location of the true heir. And I really like this line.
I hear they're hungry. Try trading flour for information.
It's so sinister and real. The next problem to be addressed is the Guardians.
In my guise as the bookseller, I can locate and remove them.
You tried that. They thwarted you at every turn.
No, he didn't. Or is there a missing episode? I mean, Phobos' sentiment that instead of brute force they should try to divide them and take them on is right, but Cedric hasn't actually tried to pull that off since he got to Earth. In fact, the only time he fought them on Earth, he destroyed them. Phobos suggests taking them out while they are separated from Will. It's a good plan. Let's see how it works out. Back on Earth,
I think Matt likes me.
Well, what makes you think that?
He's not looking at me.
what is this? A school crush subplot that involves the main character noticing the other person likes them immediately? If this came out today, I would call it revolutionary. The school is planning a ski trip. Hay Lin wants to go, but at least 2 of the others do not. But that discussion is interrupted because a new girl comes to school. Oh my god. It's the daughter of Cornelia and Irma.
Good news! I think he's over you!
He must be, he just materialized into the scene at this moment just to run away. This is Sandra, and she stirs things up by attracting all the boys' attention. It's a perfectly serviceable subplot that I actually enjoy because of the jokes it leads to.
Isn't this cheating?
I hope so, because there's no way I'm gonna beat her fair and square.
But I'm getting ahead of myself. She attracts all of the guys' attention, including Martin, who I think I like even less after this episode. These pictures are kind of funny though, not gonna lie. They're also going all in to sell Sandra as attractive. Funny thing is, the light filter they put on her sometimes makes it easier to notice the show's art style problems when it comes to line art and keeping consistency. But you know what? Beyond that, I buy it. Irma's upset. I know she doesn't like Martin, but no one likes being so blatantly replaced.
Hey, Martin.
Oh, hi.
Irma, I'm the one you're always bugging.
Now, before we get into the girls complaining, I'm gonna address the elephant in the room, Elion. Skip to this point if you don't want spoilers for this about 19-year-old show beyond what's in this episode. You good? Good. Now, Elion is Phobos' sister. She's the heir that's being searched for, which means the fact that the show is going out of its way to include her is meant to further endear us to her character before she becomes plot relevant. It's way better than expecting us to suddenly care about a background character. But this raises a question. How obvious is the twist? It really isn't a twist for me, so I can't really measure how obvious it is considering Elion's constant presence in the main cast side. But I suspect an observant viewer putting enough thought into it might become suspicious about this random girl who seems to be hanging around all the important characters. I can think of a solution, but it would cost money. And that's to include alchemy. Remember her? I mean, they were introduced together. Adding her to a few scenes or even having her have scenes with the main characters without Elion present would make it so much more natural than just having this one girl be included. Also, I want to see more alchemy. Her name's cool. Though, don't take this as me being negative. Giving us scenes with Elion before she becomes plot relevant is an excellent move. Now that we're done talking about the tropes, let's talk about the girls' problems with Sandra. Is what I would say if I wasn't looking at the girls in this shot and thinking, wow, it really stands out that they're the only ones who don't stay in a default outfit. That's right, it's another round of outfit rankings. And this one's special because there are 3 sets to check out. Well, 2.5. School winter, dressed down school winter, and skiing. Once again, from worst to best. In the school winter category, we have Hay Lin, Taranee, Cornelia, Irma, and Will. This isn't counting the hats they wear later. In the dressed down category, we have Irma, Caleb, Will, Cornelia, Hay Lin, and Taranee. And in the skiing category, we have Irma, Cornelia, Will, Hay Lin, Taranee, and Caleb. What can I say? I think his outfit's pretty funny and cool. Where was I?
She dissed me for not reading War and Peace in the original Russian. I'd like to feed her the book in the original Russian.
Oh, right. Complaining about Sandra. Are they jealous? Absolutely. Are they annoyed? Absolutely. Did Taranee read War and Peace? Maybe. But then Sandra sets the plot into motion when she begins flirting with Matt.
Ladies, we're going on a ski trip.
Willie, you don't like skiing.
I found something else I dislike more.
Cedric overhears Elion and Cornelia talk about it and realizes that it presents him an opportunity to be evil.
So you don't like skiing,
Right?
and you don't like this girl.
Right.
So you're going skiing with this girl.
Right.
I mean, it sounds dumb if you phrase it like that. Caleb doesn't really get skiing or why one would want to, how does he put it?
Instead, you're gonna stand on them and fall down the outside of a volcano.
Well, that also sounds dumb when you describe it like that. The girls accuse him of not knowing what fun is. This is how the show plans on getting him on the volcano.
Merci beaucoup, mes petites garçons.
That's not Swedish, that's French. I should know. I'm over 700 days into Duolingo. Meanwhile, Blanc is trying to steal an exhaust pipe as a trumpet. He gets packed up with the luggage. I guess he doesn't smell today. Will tries to arrange some time with Matt.
So would you like to ski down me?
Whoa, Will.
I'd love to.
Whoa, Matt. Though before he can do that, he has already promised to help Sandra with her boots. How long could that take? Though I guess it's the principle of the thing because the girls start fighting before arranging a skiing contest over who gets to sit next to Matt on the bus.
Girls.
Stay out of this.
Sandra doesn't get a lot of dialogue, but what little she gets makes her easy to dislike.
You lead, I'll follow. Until right before they finish.
Also, after this, there better not be a season-long, drawn-out arc where the characters wonder if the other likes them. I mean, I know there won't be, but imagine if there was. Let's see what the other girls are doing.
I admire Hay Lin. She doesn't care about boys or what people think of her. Or if she ever walks again.
That night, Will and Hay Lin discover Blanc and give him snow clothes. And Caleb gets Yan Lin to drive him to the lodge to prove that he can, indeed, have fun.
We'll just tell that to my skis.
You're kidding. They look like the deck planks from the Titanic.
Have I mentioned I love the banter in this show?
Those babies served me well back in China.
They look like they served Genghis Khan back in China.
Because I do. Also, I kind of find the idea Hay Lin had to cook up that response in her brain for a while, which is why she gives it in a different place, kind of funny. In reality, it's probably because the creators wanted to end the scene on this shot of Blanc watching them, so they shifted the location by the time the dialogue ended. Now, you may ask, why did they want to end the scene there? Well, it's because of this.
Boots?
No, he doesn't eat him. Will plans to use her guardian powers to cheat in the race. And it's pretty funny how gung-ho she is about it. Caleb tries out skiing and predictably wipes out. Then some guy I can only assume is his fairy godfather shows up and hands him a snowboard because skis are apparently for losers. Was this guy just carrying around a spare snowboard he wasn't using and was willing to give it away to the first person he saw? I guess. As it turns out, snowboarding is similar to something called mumboarding in Meridian, which is done on mudslides, and Caleb is amazing at it. Cedric is trying to grill Blanc for information, but the pastling resists. But after Will convinces Hay Lin to help her cheat, Cedric catches sight of the two of them flying and decides he doesn't need Blanc, trapping him in the cave.
You don't have to have this stupid race. I'll sit with both of you on the bus.
Just say go.
Go.
I would genuinely love to pick Matt's brain about what he thinks about these two girls fighting over him. They begin and Will immediately makes it clear she's in grave danger. Hay Lin manages to help her in a way that can only make me wonder, can no one see what they're doing? Like, if you look up, you'll see the flying girl. This plan is terrible if Hay Lin has to be this close. It's also terrible when Hay Lin gets distracted, interrupting the circle of life and leaves Will to her own devices. The Keeper of the Heart winds up skiing into a dangerous part of the mountain. Sandra makes the poor decision to follow her. Cedric, meanwhile, finds that all of the plot-relevant characters he's targeting are conveniently standing on the same ridiculously dangerous-looking cliff and causes an avalanche. The side cast runs off. The main cast gets buried. So this is Cedric's strategy. Bury most of the characters while they aren't transformed so they won't be able to escape, and target Will and Hay Lin alone. It's honestly pretty effective.
It felt a little more snow, but without Will transforming me, it's not gonna be enough to get us out.
I can't. Without transforming, my power over water isn't strong enough.
Meanwhile, Hay Lin and Will are simply no match for the snake in a fight. They can keep him off them, but they are in big trouble. What Cedric wasn't expected was for Blanc to escape where he was trapped in and start digging through one of the volcano's side vents in order to meet up with everyone. Once they are free, the Guardians and Caleb all go rushing to the rescue. Between the five of them and the environment, they're able to restrain Sir Snakes-a-Lot, their first actual victory against him. A bit easy? Kind of. But I do know that Cedric's weak in cold environments, so the power scaling part of my brain will let it slide. The actual explanation is probably there's 3 minutes left in the runtime. Cedric manages to escape, but for the first time in the show, the girls are able to force him to retreat from a fight using their own power. Meanwhile, we conclude the Sandra plotline.
Ow! Careful, you doofs! That hurt!
Huh? What's with the...
Your ankle's only sprained, but I think your accent's broken.
Yep, she was lying. That's right, this is a lying girl trying to be popular storyline. Kind of like a certain show I also talk about on this channel.
Yeah, we should get you to the Balnitsa
And what does that mean?
hospital. You said you spoke Russian.
Okay, funny story. This is a part of this episode that stuck in my mind in the years since I watched it, and for a long while I was convinced that this had actually happened between Ali and Lila in Miraculous Ladybug, until I was researching my first Lila video and realized that I could not find this scene anywhere. So I guess the takeaway is, Taranee is smarter than Alia. Not as surprising as I thought it would be. So Sandra gets revealed to be a liar but says that she's just going to switch schools. It's that easy? At least she isn't going to pretend to be convincing world leaders to help us save the globe. Careful girl, she might come back in the hypothetical season 3 more powerful than you could ever imagine. Okay, I'll cool it with the Miraculous jokes in a minute. Guys, guess who worked as one of the storyboard artists on this episode, as well as 5 others in this season? Yes.
Weren't you listening? She's a fake!
But her face and shiny lustrous hair are also real.
Okay, I still don't like Martin, but he has a point. Sandra doesn't really need to be so fake if she wants attention. Though I guess if she wasn't as fake as she was, she wouldn't have managed to become the center of all attention. Looking at their map of Earth, which remember still basically only includes the city they currently live in, the girls realize that there aren't any new portals and wonder where Cedric came from and where he went. I wonder if there's somewhere nearby that they know can teleport you back and forth through Phobos' castle that they went through in the last episode. The show has its merits, but I swear these are some of the most forgetful main characters I've ever seen. I'm sorry, I know that's supposed to be ominous, but it's just so goofy. Imagine seeing that, like, oh, I guess he goes to work via the sewer. Interesting. Honestly, this episode was a bit middling writing wise. Like I said, I enjoyed it, but when I take a step back to look at how everything was constructed, I see that it kind of has the best and worst of what I've come to expect from the show so far. A good grasp on cause and effect to drive the story forward, balanced out by some contrivances needed to advance the plot. The main characters forget really important things, but they're also really funny and entertaining, even when doing really dumb things. Speaking of really dumb things, not the biggest fan of them abusing their powers to cheat, but I'll accept it as a character flaw that the show isn't going to address yet. At least they didn't attack anyone. The whole skiing match to determine who gets to sit next to a boy on the bus back to school is just so low stakes, besides the threat of falling over in the snow, that I can just look at how Will is ready to abuse her powers and how the show doesn't even try to teach her a lesson and laugh. But I am apprehensive of the idea that it could snowball into a bigger problem. I swear when I wrote that line in the script, I didn't realize it was going to be a pun until I'm recording this right this second. What did you think of the episode and its plot lines? Tell me in the comments below and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, as well as subscribe for more content. Thank you and good day.